I've never actually played the original Silent Hill 2. So why am I making this video? The Silent Hill 2 remake is by far the best video game I have played in 2024 so far. And I can't lie, I had no expectation for this game. I didn't even know what Silent Hill was. Obviously I knew what Pyramid Head was. You know, I played DBD a few times, so I had a little bit of knowledge of the franchise, but generally I had no idea what this game was and even the story at a whole. So hopping into Silent Hill 2, I was absolutely shocked how good this video game was. I don't really like taking my video games slow. That's gonna probably offend a bunch of people, but generally, the way I find joy in video games is by playing them the way I want, and that is to just go through the game as quickly as I can. I haven't really been one to go ahead and do side missions in a video game because in my eyes, the developers wanted us to play the main story and the side content is kind of there as a bonus. So for me, I want to stick to that main storyline the game has, but this game doesn't have that issue because the whole thing is kind of one big mystery. You don't know what's going to happen, and in majority of this game you're just kind of wandering into a random area, and it actually makes you explore. The game makes you explore all of its areas because most of the time there's gonna be one big puzzle, and the only way to complete it is by going through every single room and checking every single thing out. So the game makes you want to explore, and you know what else helps? When the game is terrifying. The sounds this game makes by far were just the most unsettling things I've ever heard. And something that took me completely off guard is this room. Yes, a random room made me terrified. And why was this? Well, the whole game you begin and it just kind of seems that you're walking into an abyss. You can hear wind and just other natural sounds, but not really anything horror or anything that can make you scared. And then you get to the main part of the game where you're actually killing monsters and finding shit, but never something that actually is unsettling until you reach this room. And for whatever reason, this room has something that is terrifying. It has a whisper. You can hear something whispering to you. It sounds demonic, and that's the thing that creeps me the fuck out. Because even after playing the game, I don't know why this room had that sound. And this happens like multiple times throughout the game, but not really anything comes close to this one encounter. And I find that really strange. And this is the point the game switches and becomes more of a psychological horror game. There's only a few games that I've actually enjoyed exploring, and honestly, there's actually only two beside this one. The two other games being Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Red Dead Redemption 2. These two games are open world, so the game really wants you to explore. It's the whole thing the game is meant to be, an open world game. It wants you to explore every single nook and cranny. But Silent Hill 2 isn't an open world game, but yet I still have that same urge to explore. But not just to explore, but to observe. Every room has me looking around, seeing if I can find any new, memos or anything I've missed. And multiple times, this game actually rewards the player for doing that, either in the form of a very interesting letter or something lore related. The game really makes you want to check everything out. An example of this is the hospital. On the surface, well, it's kind of just an area to explore, but there's actually a story behind it that is pretty sad. By going through the hospital and getting letters and finding out what happened to the patients, the game really does give you a kind of glimpse of what's truly happening. The hospital actually feels rewarding to explore, which I find not many games to have that same feel. I've seen some comparisons to the original Silent Hill 2, mostly the characters and the dialogue they have. This game definitely improves that dialogue, making things seem a lot more believable and at times making the game a lot more emotionally distressing. The voice acting is also amazing. Like, this game has some really top tier voice acting. Like, whoever voiced Mary absolutely cooked in the final passage of the game. Hearing this dialogue absolutely broke me. Also, the attention to detail this game has is second to none. Like, a lot of people kind of miss this, but even in the beginning of the game, in James's car, you can actually see what seems to be a body in the back. I would like to say this is, well, Mary, but honestly, who knows? This could literally be anyone. We don't even know. Even the Easter eggs that have been brought straight back from the original Silent Hill 2, like the chainsaw. this was a New Game Plus feature in the original, and in the new remake, it's there as well. It even has homages from the original game, like for example Eddie. In the original, you can see him eating pizza in a bowling alley, and then James says the iconic "who the f eats pizza in a zombie apocalypse." In the remake, the whole thing is changed. Eddie is eating ice cream in a cinema. But if you go to the bowling alley and you go to one of the tables, you can see a eaten pizza box, and then James utters the iconic line again. I really love when remakes pay close attention to the original game and try to make it better and not try and change it. And this game definitely does that. It takes the original game and makes it better. Even with someone like me who hasn't played the original Silent Hill 2, I still feel that there's so much new things to do in this game. It feels like a breath of fresh air, even though what I've heard, it's very much a one-on-one retelling of the original story, or a little bit different. And having a game, a remake in particular, being faithful to the original game that it's being based on, shows that the development team really cared about this game. And in the final product, it really shows. Even a character like Pyramid Head. This character is a very cool character, and in Silent Hill 2 Remake, the guy is an absolute unit. Like, this guy, every time he was on screen, made me extremely scared. And the most I've ever been scared in a horror game, and let alone, well, this game, was when we get to this section with Pyramid Head. By this point, we hadn't seen Pyramid Head for quite a while. In fact, I actually forgot he was in this game for a bit until I reached this room. And then all of a sudden, Pyramid Head is just back. And he's not only back, but he's chasing you in a very small room. This whole sequence was just terrifying. By far the most terrifying experience I've had whilst playing this game, but could just be one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had playing a horror game, which is insane. And don't even get me started with these fuckers. I don't want to see this thing ever again. Every single corner and every single room that I went in, I always feared that there was going to be a finger dude just around the corner ready to just destroy me. Anyways, getting back to the main topic of this video, I do think Silent Hill 2, this remake that they've done, is fantastic. Like RE2 and RE4 and all the other remakes that RE have done, I think this game captures the original essence. I haven't even played the original, but with the clips that I've seen and what I've heard, this game does not only just faithfully adapt the original product, but actually enhances and improves on what the original laid out, which is exactly what a good remake should do. I understand that not all people are going to find this game scary. There's not really jump scares or anything like in the typical horror media that is going to make a person scared, but the scary part about Silent Hill was never about the jump scares and over the top looking monster designs, but truly it's the truth the game is trying to show that is the scariest part. And experiencing this game for the first time, well, I'm a Silent Hill fan now, so yeah. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Until next time, take it easy and goodbye.